So, welcome back to my channel. If you're here to subscribe, please click the subscribe button. Today we'll be proceeding from where we stopped last time. We talked about the Microsoft 365 overview, and the next thing we'll be talking about today is how to create users, how to add users, different form of ways to add users. So the first thing we'll be doing was once you get to the Microsoft 365 Admin Center, and please note, not all admin can create users. It all depends on the license that is assigned to you. So, um, firstly, we'll be using the add user option, which is after clicking on users, we have active users, then we use add users. So the first one we're doing is to add user. So let's create a user for ourselves. So you have to put the first name, the last name, the display name, which are the basic information required for a user. Then if you have domain, you can see what I have here is my Microsoft 365 default domain. So and if you have your own custom domain already added to the admin, then you can decide to choose your custom domain. But since we have not gotten to that level, we'll be using our default Microsoft 365 domain. So the next option we have is to automatically create a password or and also to require this user to change password at the first login. So it now depends on whichever option that you think it suits your organization. But for security reasons, I'll always choose the second option for users to require uh, password change. So click on next. So your product, under your product to ask you which license do you actually want to assign to this user. So in Microsoft 365, we have different license. We have the business license, we have the enterprise license, we have the education license, we have the non-profit license, we have the government tenant license. So all these licenses I'm talking about, I mentioned, it all depends on the kind of tenants you have that will determine the kind of license that is actually available to you. So for my own test tenants currently that we're using, I have a E5 developers license. However, I will not be assigning this license to these users because we still get to license. But we'll talk about how to assign license and different way to assign license to users. The one you have here is just the easy and the direct option where you can assign license. So if you don't want to assign any license to that user, you can just click on the last option, create user without product license, then you click on next. So this is where you assign role to users. You can say we have different admin roles that you can actually assign to users. But when we get to admin role, then we'll talk about different way that roles can be assigned to users also. But for now, we'll not be assigning any role to these users. So we continue. So we already have our review of the user we created. You can see the settings, the display name, the password, the product license role, and the profile information. Currently, this profile does not have any information, but you can always come back to edit this user's information. So you can click on finish adding. So automatically this user have been created in our tenant. So for us to verify, we can search for this user 001. Can see? So this user have been created in our organization. However, if you don't want to go through this route, you just want to make things much more easier for yourself, there is what we call user templates. Users templates. So let's assume you have multiple domains in your tenants. That is, the organization have multiple domains. All depends on how they want it, and you don't want to be going around while creating users. So you can create templates for each of these domain, and also the kind of role that will be assigned to those users. So you can just click on templates, then create templates, add templates. So it all depends on the name you want to give that template. You can even make it a department, maybe HR, admin, IT, marketing, sales. It all depends. So when a user come into sales, you already know the template is there. Just click on sales, the license and everything the user needed will be automatically added. So let's create our sample template. So make use of sales. So you can add description in case you have multiple admin in the organization that might want to make use of it. And you can see publish this template. That is, another admin other than you can also make use of this template. But if you want it's a private template, you don't want it available to other admin who manage user, you can uncheck this option. So let's click on next. So auto generate password, yes. So you can decide to choose the domain that will automatically be assigned to user if you are making use of this template. So you can click on next. We want an auto generate password. We are not creating password, and user is expected to change password at their first sign in. So we are clicking on next. So here we will be given option to select location, then license. So at this point, let's just pick this license. So any user you created using this template will automatically pick this license. Or we can also do don't assign license to user, then click on next. So we have an overview of what we just did. Then before we go ahead, so we are not assigning admin role to any of the user with this template. However, let's assume this is IT help desk. So you can decide to add user admin role to this template. So whenever you have a new IT help desk, you just create the user account using this template. Automatically, the admin role will be assigned to the new staff. So profile information, these I don't have any information yet. So which include your job title, department, office, phone, street, and others. Basic information about the users, the job title, department, and then contact. So you can click on next and click on finish adding templates. So we are good to go. Our template have been created. So how do we make use of this template? Then we come back to user template. So the name of our template is sales. We click on it. So we create any user now. Let's assume we are creating user 002. So user 002. You can see that compared to the previous user that we added, when you click on add a user, you can see now that we already have every information needed for this user. So the domain is there already, and everything that the user needs to pick is already added to the user. So the next thing we needed is to click on add user, say, and this user will be added automatically without us having to go through the stress of adding the user's um, profile, adding roles, adding license, and others. So let's look for this user. Say we have our user created already. However, aside from these two options, there are still other options that we can make do with to create users. That is when you have to add multiple users in your organization. So we have the add multiple user option. So let me assume we want to add a lot of users. So user 003, user 003. So this user should be user 004, user 004. And the next user will be user 005, user 005. So you see, we already have our domain for this user, so we can add as many as we want. You can click on the add rule option. Then I think the max you can add at a go is 10. Well, let's give it a try. We have 5 already. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, so we have unlimited counts. So you have unlimited count depending on the number of users you want to add. I believe it is limited. So let's continue. So aside from this option, there's another way you can add multiple users also. So you can add multiple users by using CSV. So aside from CSV, which is the GUI interface, you can also make use of PowerShell to create these users. So, but for now, we use this multiple user and we'll try our CSV also. So let's click on next for now. So let's assign Power Automate to these users, or don't assign license. I will click on next. We'll click on add users. So we have option to do what? To download these users we have created. I know a lot of people will be looking at, oh, how do we now get this user's password and information? How do we get it sent? So we can download the users as a CSV file. You can click on open. Let me open it. You can see, so we have our users with their password, and with this you can get across to the users to let them know that the account has been actually created. That is for multiple users. So we click on close. So let's search for one of those users. User 005. You can see, so we have the user created. So aside from that, we have the CSV that we can make use of in creating users. So we click on add users, then we'll say um I would like to use CSV. So for you to get it easily, so you can always download a blank with a required header, or download a file that include a sample users. So for people that are doing it for the first time, you can always download a user with a sample user. There are users in it already that will give you insights on what to do. You can see we have Chris as our user already here. So I don't have this domain in my organization, so I'll be removing the domain. So I'll add, so this is my domain. I'll be adding it, so I'll save this. Let me say to download, then click on save. So we have this user Chris Green. Then let me save. So we can come back here that now we have our user created already. So we can come to download. Um, I think this is it. Is this it? Um, what is the name? I'm not seeing it from my users. No, this is not it. I'm coming. Let's go back to our users. Download. Okay. Import user sample. So let's go back to our download and look for import user sample. Import user sample. Do you have it here? Um, trying to find the location where we have it. Can't find it there. So let me go back to my file explorer. Um, Downloads. Okay, so we have our user here since you can't find it on our file explorer. So I'll be copying it to desktop. Then you should be able to get it directly from our desktop. Okay, so we have it on our desktop now. So we'll be importing this user from our desktop. Okay, not seeing the user from our desktop likewise. Not in download. Oh, sorry. Yes, it's in CSV format. Let's click on all. Oh, sorry about that. So because we did not change the file extension was the reason why we did not see it earlier. So, so we are getting an error. This is not a CSV file. Open it again and save as CSV. So, oh, I get it now. So I actually save it as Excel file instead of saving it as CSV. So we'll go back to save as, then we choose again, choose the part that I would like to save it. Then we choose CSV file. So I think this is much more preferable than every other format. Then you can click on save. I think we're good to go now. We have it now as CSV file. Then we can now go back to our admin center to import the user. So we have the user imported now. Then we can click on next. So the license that I want to assign to this user, we can decide to choose this license. Then we'll click on next. Then we'll click on add user. So our username is Chris Green. Then we'll click on close. So we can search for Chris. So with that, we are able to create our users using CSV file. That is, if we have multiple users that we want to create at a go. So thank you. We'll stop for there. We'll stop there today. As I said earlier, these users also can be created using PowerShell, either as multiple users or a single users, depending on how many users you want to create. Thank you and bye for now. And don't forget to like.